Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I refresh myself as an artist. I'm a low energy artist, so I don't pump out a lot of projects. I focus on one. So here I am, I'm going to the art supply shop looking to see what I want to buy on my new project, and I'm just going to take you guys along with me and show you what I do when, it's a low energy week. So stay tuned. I just came back from my trip at Blix. I got quite a haul here, and I bought colors that I knew that I was going to use for this piece. I've been working on this piece for a couple of days, and here's how far I went. I bought these two Liquitex paints, and it has the nozzle, which I like, so can't wait to experiment with that. I also got two Liquitex inks, the Burnt Umber. I love this color. I use it all the time for washes to prime my canvas. And this is a new color I want to experiment, and since I use blues a lot in my work, I decided let me just pick this up and see how I like it. I needed a new X-Acto knife, so here you go. I'm trying this new color from Amsterdam, Persian Blue Phthalo. It's a very dark, rich, muted blue, and I always use these kinds of blues in my work, so I figured why not try it and see if I like the formula. I always needed some heavy-duty scissors, cannot go wrong. A black Posca for signing my work, and I tried a new color from Liquitex, Blue Gray. Again, I love blue muted tones. I use it a lot in my work, so I'm going to be using this in my other work, my newest work that I'm working on, so hopefully I like this a lot. I bought some big tubes of the Blick Studio acrylic cadmium. You always need a cadmium yellow, and some burnt sienna. I always use burnt sienna, so might as well have these big tubes. And I got some smaller ones. So I got blue light violet, and burnt umber. I use a lot of burnt umber in my work, so this will be good for priming and skin tones, and also a lot of blues. I love blues and I use them a lot in my work. I'm thinking using this nozzle to create texture within this silhouette, making something like patterns in the silhouette adds good depth into the work, and I got a color that matches really closely to this silhouette. They didn't have a color that matched this, but that's okay. I got this to add a little bit more texture but to stand out, and hopefully I enjoy that. And I'm gonna do some washes, some light washes in ink with these two before I add the texture, just to add some depth as well in the piece. A couple days later, I went back in with some chalk and did some outlining, and I mapped out what I wanted with the paint that I just bought, and it made this beautiful African texture, this pattern. And I love the way that you can see it raise up, so you can see the difference in texture. It's really nice. I went back in and I mapped out the body. All of this is in acrylic with the exception of the legs, and it made, again, a beautiful texture that I love, and I'm going to continue to work on it. I'm doing some experimentation with some collage, so I did some scrap canvas and did the arms and the head, which is nice. I've been wanting to do something like this again because I've been wanting to experiment more with using fabrics and quilts in general. So I ordered another quilt. So this is approximately 50 by 60. It's polyester. Yeah, so it's Polyester, 100% polyester. Ooh, I like what I see so far. I don't know if you can see this, but it's gonna be real nice. Real nice for sure. The picture turned out really crisp, very clean. I'm gonna paint over it anyway, so even if it didn't turn out the best, I'm still going to paint over it. So it doesn't really necessarily matter. This is what I'm working on right now. So I'm building the ladder. So the goal of this is to build the ladder in the sun part, and eventually I'm going to add the hand that is blue that's going down, and I'm going to block in the figure after I pose for the reference photo. So this is the ugly stage. This fabric medium that I got previously, and some Blix Studio acrylics, and I'm just chipping away what I got going on. I'm thinking for the hand, I don't want it to blend in, so I'm gonna add in some, trying to see what kind of blue, maybe a blue gray, because it has like a grayish undertone, but I don't want it to look gray. Maybe if I mix in some colors, not really sure. Right, this is a couple days later, but I got tired and I wanted to take a break from the works I was doing, and I went to the Met Cloisters Museum and I saw a bunch of medieval artworks. It was so fun. I saw a lot of woven tapestries, they're my favorite. I saw a lot of studies. I really did enjoy myself. I took a lot of videos and pictures I'm gonna use possibly as inspiration, but it's not gonna be like any pressure to use them. I had so much fun. So this was my break. So now it's time to get back to work. It's been a couple of weeks since I first worked on this painting, and I got really far. And look, I painted the face in scrap fabric, and I weaved a hat with some shells in it. I just finished painting the crown, and I'm gonna add silver paint to it, and I'm going to, once this is all sewed down, I'm going to go back over the arms, the shirt, and the whole leg part in the oil sticks and the RF drawing oils. I attached the birds and the pigeons, and I changed the sun. Yeah, so I changed the sun here. I felt like it just needed to be brighter. Yeah. I also want to share that this has been a game changer. So I got the Liquitex clear gesso, and I bought more fabric medium, but this time it's from Folk Art, and it just adds a different texture to the quilt. It used to be more like, I don't know how to describe it, more like loose, and like just has like a different, like the quilt would absorb the paint a lot. And with the new clear gesso, I went back over it again before I added the birds and everything, and it stiffened it up a little bit, which is great, and it holds the paint, so it's not a lot of bleeding that I see now with the work. So this is so fine. I like it. So I'm going to use eventually this silver paint, because I got to get rid of a lot of the metallics I have to paint this crown, go over it. So I'm excited. I'm waiting for this glue layer to dry. I use like E600, so I'm waiting for it to be tacky and like stick. I'm gonna use this. I also want to talk about my painting process, because I know that last time I recorded, it was like about a month ago, and I was taking a break, and I didn't get that much work done. But I just want to share that I don't usually like recording when I paint, because I paint so sporadically, and when I do paint, it's like random times, and I need to get the idea down before I lose it. So when I'm creating and I got an idea to add, I have to paint then and there, or else I'm going to lose motivation to like create it, and it won't be in the picture. Like, I wasn't even originally supposed to make the hat with the shells. I was supposed to just make the head and call it a day, but I added the crown, I added the hat, I changed the sun, and I added the birds, and you know, some other raindrops, I think like a cloud at the bottom. And you know, I still have much more work to do, but I don't like recording my pieces. And I know it's sort of bad because I'm supposed to be documenting all of the work, but I just don't have a lot of motivation to record every single piece of creative decisions that I make in a work. So when I'm free and I want to share, I just want to give little updates of how I am. I promise you, I assure you, it's not like a gatekeeping thing. It's just I don't want to every single time. I just want to go in the studio and paint, you know, just grab a camera. It just takes me out of the fantasy. It takes me out of the loop. So I assure you, it's not personal and it's not me trying to gatekeep. It's just me trying to, you know, do what I have to do in the moment without being distracted. But I also want to come very close and show you the idea I had. So I originally, these hair pieces, quote unquote, for the portrait wasn't supposed to be here. I did with the golden paint that I bought, some pale gold from Gamblin, and I put these pieces on, and I didn't glue down some of these pieces because I still wanted it to be like, you know, loose and flowy. So I'm gonna sew down with the thread like I usually do. It's gonna be collage patchwork, leave these loose, and you know, it's gonna be so cool. I'm waiting for this to dry. It's gonna take like about an hour or two, and yeah, I just can't wait for the oil sticks to be included. It's gonna be so nice. I wanna show you, I finally finished. Check this out, guys. I just finished the oil sticks and I put everything on. I sewed down the head, the crown, everything. I want to thank you guys for following the journey of me painting this thing. It's taken me like, I believe almost 2 months. It took a lot of brainstorming, going back and forth on ideas, and I almost gave up on this piece multiple times, but we finally did it. Persevered, took a break, and we're here. Also, I do need to work more on documenting my process. So, you know, hopefully in the future when I'm doing other projects, I'll, you know, work on documenting the piece. So I'm going to let this dry, be done with it, and I see you next video. Bye, guys.